Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Be Kind. This is Kriti and that's my husband Shrey, and we are new immigrants in Canada. We landed in Jan of 2023 with secured jobs from India. So in our last video we covered the reasons as to why we moved to Canada. So if you haven't watched that video, we will put the link in this video, so please go watch that video. In today's video, we will be talking about our journey to the entire PR process. So the journey to land or immigrate to Canada started 4 years ago. When I personally heard the story, I was shocked. It has so many twists and turns, including your profile rejection, PNP nominations, a marriage, a pandemic, as well as re-medicals. And today, Shrey and I will be taking you along that. Please subscribe to our channel. We upload our new videos every Tuesday. Keep sharing your love with us and do subscribe to our channel.
So to get the basics out of the way, Canada welcomes immigration through multiple programs. And why does it need immigration? Because the population growth of Canada is not sufficient enough to sustain, and they need immigrants to pay the taxes for an aging population. So for the next forthcoming years, immigration will continue to play a vital role in Canada's diversity, ecosystem, as well as their economy. So Canada welcomes immigration through multiple programs, but the primary one is express entry, and that's the common route that we also took. In express entry, first you have to check whether you're eligible. So for that, they judge your profile on multiple factors like your age, your educational qualification, your work experience, your language speaking abilities, and your health, and multiple other things. Once you are determined that you're eligible, you go to something called a CRS calculator and you calculate your CRS score. A CRS score is what is called a comprehensive ranking system score. In that, all these factors that I just discussed, they are evaluated on a criteria which is determined by the immigration authorities of Canada, and you get your score. After you get your score, there are draws which happen. They used to happen very frequently before COVID, almost every 15 days, but after the pandemic, it's been on and off. So in the draw, they come up with a cutoff score. If your CRS score is above that cutoff score, you get what is called an ITA, or an invitation to apply, which is almost a confirmation that you will get your PR unless you have done some major screw ups. After you get your ITA, you get your medical checkup done through an authorized clinic. You get your police clearance certificate, basically which says that you don't have any criminal record. And also you submit the proofs for your education qualification, your language tests and other things. And after thorough evaluation by Canada authorities, you get what is called a confirmation of PR, which is basically a one-way ticket for you to land in Canada that has a time period validity. You have to make your landing within that time frame, and once you land, you become PR residents of Canada.
So if you want us to make a detailed video of express entry, please mention it in the comment section below and we will be making more immigration related videos for you guys. Today's video will be divided into two sections. The first section would include the Canada PR process up until we got married, and the second section of the video will include the impact of marriage and adding a spouse to your entire PR journey.
And we did our process ourselves, like we didn't have any agent assisting us. So throughout the last 4 years, I have seen a lot of the changes myself. So if you want us to make the videos, please write in comments and we will be making those videos. And now we'll just go out. We have our cousin coming over today for lunch. So we'll go out to get some groceries and a gift for her, and we will continue the rest of the story once we come back.
So guys, the spring is almost here. As you can see, the sun is shining and we are looking forward to this warmer weather that's supposed to come in Canada very soon. We will be taking you along the cherry blossom festivities when they show up in Canada, but for now we are enjoying the sunny weather and a little warmth here in Canada. So as Shrey mentioned, today we'll be going around shopping as well as getting some fresh fruits and vegetables. I usually buy them from a farmer's market because they have better deals and fresher veggies and fruits. So we will take you along today.
guys, I'll share the journey now. Kriti is making pav bhaji and I'm just hungry with the smell of it. So talking about the timelines, the first thing that you have to do before creating an express entry profile is taking your IELTS exam and getting your educational classification assessment or an ECA. I created my profile for IELTS on Feb 18th, 2019. Yes, 2019, it's been more than 4 years. And I took my exam on March 10th, 2019. So about 20 days of preparation, primarily refer to YouTube for the types of questions that come and also the course guide that comes when you book for IELTS. Those were my primary source of material, and I got a score of 9, 9, 8 and 7. So in reading and listening I got 9 on 9. In speaking I got 8, and in writing I got 7. So it's really important to have a good IELTS score, because this is the only thing in your CRS profile which is totally in your hands. You create your own score, and by that you create your own destiny. So March 10th, 2019, I had my IELTS exam results. Overall band was 8.5, and about the same time on Feb 12th, 2019, I created my WES profile. So I did my ECA through WES, or World Education Services. This is one of the authorized partners that Canada Immigration works with. If you have your MBA from any other B school except the top IIMs, there is a high likelihood that your master's degree, your MBA degree, will be classified as a 1-year diploma. Do your own due diligence on whether you want to go through WES, because WES will give it as a 1-year diploma. The others I've heard may give it as a master's as well, which affects your score by 7 points. WES took about 4 months of getting the ECA. By June 19, the ECA was completed, and in this process you have to coordinate with your colleges and WES. So there are two organizations and you are stuck in the middle. So it requires you to be very patient with the entire process and ensure that the wheels are continuously moving. My MBA school had a very clear online process. I just filled the details of WES, paid the fees online, and they sent my transcripts directly. But my undergrad college, the process was completely different and manual. I was in Mumbai, so my parents had to visit the university twice. So it depends on your college, but it will take you a lot of time to have this process started as early as possible. So by June of 2019, I was done with both IELTS and the WES ECA profile, and by that time I was also exploring other options of moving outside of India, because the decision to move outside India was already set for me. So I started applying to jobs both in the US, Canada and Europe from my organization and other companies as well. I also went on a work trip to US in 2019 to explore if a move could happen without the entire immigration process, but as I figured out, it was really difficult or impossible in my profile at that time for a company to move me on a work permit, because the costs are really enormous and companies generally don't prefer to do that. And also because of the immigration difficulties in US, because of administration, it was really difficult to explore that path. So I figured that that would not work, and then I also explored having an option of doing a second MBA. I took my GMAT as well, which is an exam to do MBA in US. I got a decent score of 710. I could have explored doing an MBA again, but the costs and the uncertainty of getting a job after that in US, I closed that chapter as well, and then I started focusing on the Canada immigration again. So finally I created my profile, express entry profile, in Feb of 2020. Feb 27 of 2020, right before the COVID pandemic. And then the COVID pandemic happened. We all got busy. From Mumbai, I moved to Gurgaon to spend some time with my family, and we started doing all the household activities, the household chores and everything else that we went through during the pandemic. So while all of this was going on, in the middle of the pandemic, on June 3rd of 2020, I got an email from the Ontario province that my profile has been picked up for Ontario PNP nomination and under the human capital priority stream. While I was creating my express entry profile, I selected all the provinces where they were asking a question of where you intend to settle. And the benefit of doing that is that every province then can consider you for their PNP nomination. So I did not apply to Ontario on my own. The Ontario province looks out for profiles profiles in the express entry pool, depending on their labor shortage, they send a notification of interest that if you want to accept this notification of interest, we will invite you to our province, give you an additional 600 points, and then you will have to settle at least initially in our province. So this is basically what a PNP or a provincial nomination program is. I got a notification of interest on June 3rd of 2020, and I was on top of the world because my score was 471, and that was a borderline score. So the draws that were coming, it was either 469, 470, something like that. There was a 50% chance that my profile would have gotten picked for the pool without the nomination, but I thought to not take any chances. I gave the details that they were seeking. After about a month, I submitted my proofs. On June 16th, my nomination was accepted by Ontario Province, and on July 22nd, just 6 days after submission, the draw happened, and of course I got the golden email that I was waiting for, which was an ITA. So on July 22nd of 2020, I finally got my ITA. We were given a timeline of 3 months to submit all the proofs, get our medical checkup, as well as our police clearance certificate. I got my medical checkup done at an authorized clinic, and I had gotten my police clearance certificate already at the time of creating my express entry profile, but that was expired. So when I went back to the passport office to get another PCC done, they told me that your address on the passport and where you are currently applying from, it should be the same. But my passport address was of Mumbai, where I was living and working before the pandemic, and I was living in Gurgaon because of the pandemic with my family. So one option was that I had to change my passport address and then apply. The other thing that I read online, that you can get a PCC from the commissioner's office in Gurgaon, and there were several posts that is also an acceptable PCC. So I went to the commissioner's office in Gurgaon, got a police clearance certificate, and submitted all my proofs. And on the last day, in fact, I realized that I don't have my undergrad degree with me. And I panicked because I was like, okay, maybe it would be there in my document folder, but when it came to the last day of uploading, it was not there. I even went to the university to ask them for a duplicate copy, but of course they were not able to give it in a day. And half of my documents were in Mumbai, half of them were in Gurgaon. So the last hope that I had was to call a friend up in Mumbai who used to live close to my house and ask him to go to my place and check it out. And luckily he had the key, and luckily the degree was also there at my place. So he sent me a photo. I uploaded all my documents, and on October 19th, 2022, I submitted my profile, and I was expecting a reply from them in about 6 to 9 months. That was the timeline at that time for IRCC to revert back with the COPR. But just a month later, I got another email from IRCC, which was totally unexpected, and they were saying that my profile is cancelled. I was like, what? How can my profile be cancelled? So what was the mistake? What was the mistake that I did when I submitted my profile, because of which I got an incomplete profile rejection? So the mistake was in the police clearance certificate. When I got my first police clearance certificate from the passport office, which is issued by the Ministry of External Affairs, there is no timeline written on that PCC, that this PCC starts from X date. It says that this person has no criminal record whatsoever. But when I got it from the commissioner's office in Gurgaon, it had stated that since the time this person has been living in Gurgaon, there is no criminal record. And I was living in Gurgaon when we purchased our house only since 2019. So the PCs that I got, while it was valid, it said that I did not have any criminal record, but it was for a very limited period of time. It did not tell IRCC that I have no criminal records since the time I have to declare it, which is since I turned 18. So that was the mistake that I did. And now that I think of it, it was a very silly mistake. But at that time, maybe it just skipped my mind. And because of that, I lost my chance at getting a quick COPR maybe 2 years before I got it now. And I also lost the $1,500 that I had paid for Ontario Provincial Nomination Program, and I had also lost those 600 points. I was really sad at that point in time. I thought my dream of settling outside of India was over.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
This is it. But maybe the universe had other plans for me, and what I realized that I can only do what is in my control. The problem was in the PCC, or the police clearance certificate. So for that, I needed a new passport. The next day, I picked myself up, created a Tatkal profile on the passport office and submitted a request to get a passport. And in the meantime, while I was waiting for the passport to come home, I created my Express Entry profile, filled in all the details because it was already available, just left the section of passport number blank. The last day I went to the post office myself, got the passport, entered the passport number, and in about 10 days I submitted my second profile, which was on December 2nd of 2020. In just a week later, I got my second ITA on December 9th, 2020. And this timeline was very crucial because there were rumors going around that IRCC will stop the draws at any point in time, which also happened just shortly thereafter. There were no draws for a period of almost 1.5 years. And I was turning 30 the next year in April.
Why, God, why? We had a deal.
And I would have lost 5 points, and my IELTS score was also going to get expired since it's only valid for 2 years. So I knew that, this is it. And on December 9th, when I got my second ITA, I realized that maybe this is the last chance for me. And in the next part, now we will cover Canada PR immigration. After that, there was somebody else that came into my life, and how an addition of spouse can impact your profile at various stages of your ITA journey. If you like this video, please mention it in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel. It will be a huge boost to us. And we will see you in the next time. Be kind and be kind.